Hello and welcome everyone. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to see. Oh, what happened here? Yeah, I've been testing the deck a little bit offline. I played exactly one league, and after I went, what was it, 3-7 yesterday? I redeemed myself with a nice little clean 5-0. Made a couple of changes, added Core Firewalker instead of the Oreo champion. I think that we actually need to target the prowess decks a little bit more dead on. Honestly, I'm trying to find a way to make room for the third copy because that matchup is really bad. Like the more that I play it, the more scared I get of that deck. So I kind of want to try to fit yet another Core Firewalker in there if I can. I have not been able to find a way into it because of how the sideboard mapping is going to work out. Like, for example, against John, I want to cut all of my Vials and all of my Thalias. So if I were to do that, like I am already bringing in Arasta, which is like okay but serviceable against something like John. But like I really don't want to bring in Core Firewalker against John. This doesn't seem even remotely reasonable. So because of the cyborg mapping, I think I would like to, I just kind of have to keep the Arasta, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. So what I added is I wanted to try out Tectonic Edge in the sideboard because something that I've been saying for a while now, which is the Tron matchup doesn't feel awful, but it's uncomfortable, and I would have liked for it to be a little bit more comfortable, you know. Yeah, so we have the Core Fireworkers and we have the Tech Edge in the sideboard. And one card that I'm trying out is Ranger Captain of Eos. This is very much a Reclaimer deck, as I have said multiple times, even though the name of the deck is Titan Vial, because the original idea was, you know, to something silly to play around Aethergust. So I still think that the name should remain Titan Vial. That's fine, and it's funny because, you know, it's kind of hilarious to think about Vial in Primeval Titan. But in reality, this deck is very, very much a Reclaimer deck. So I wanted to try out. On the last stream, I was thinking about adding a third copy of Eladamber Skull, and I got thinking, okay, what if I instead switch one of those calls to Ranger Captain of Eos? So this guy was like okay in this league. He wasn't bad. Like being able to, like, the card advantage is pretty real. The use against like combo decks and whatever didn't really come up, but it's certainly interesting to say the least. And you know, trial and error. That's how I'm building this entire deck through trial and error. That's been my philosophy. So I just wanted to give it a shot, and it wasn't insane, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Definitely having access to a 3/3 and a reclaimer that your opponent is kind of forced to answer was pretty clutch in a match that I played against Burn in this league. But yeah, so without further ado, let's see the deck in action. Let's see this list in action. All right, yeah, Bone Daddy, listen to the first episode of the podcast earlier. Great job, it was real. Thank you so much. And for those of you that are not in the know, I did a podcast. That's actually I did not create. Let's create a command real quick for this. So the name of the podcast is. No, that's it. No, that's not what I want to do.
Hello, everyone.
That's not what I want to do. I wanted to copy and paste. All right, copy that. So add exclamation point podcast. Listen to the Titan Talk cast here. All right, there we go. So Jose, House of Mana, aka Jack, and I did a podcast yesterday, and you can check it out right over there. So we're playing against Matthias, so we're very likely facing Eldrazi Tron. This hand seems fine against Eldrazi Tron. I really like Night of Recording against Tron. What's up, Jose? How's it going? Yeah, I'm going to be trying out your list today as well. I 5-0 with this list today, so I kind of wanted to give it a shot, but is it on Spotify too? No, so far it's only on SoundCloud. I think that Spotify actually charges you to upload. I'm not, don't quote me on that because I'm not certain about that. Let's go with Thallium. Cobra Kai entered the chat. Yeah. Just found out about you the other day after I was doing research into Amulet Titan since I'm trying to get into Mulder Primetime as my third card. Hell yeah, you're in the right channel, Saki boards. In fact, what other channel in? How many Primetime emotes can a channel have? Because this one has 3. It's not enough. We need more Primetime emotes. Well, we just Knight here, right? If we draw any land, we get to Titan next turn. So definitely hoping for no Dismember or something like that. Which is exactly what they have. Obviously. We're going to be facing turn 3 Tron very likely. Or maybe turn 3 Matter Reshaper powers. It's not bad actually. So now we get to double spell. Well, a good thing my opponent dismembered this Knight, because they were gonna get got. Huge, absolutely huge. So now our Reclaimer is gonna be good to go. Hell yeah. Trying to lead with Snake. Yeah, Snake sounds interesting. I'm not sure how much I like it, but yeah. Genuinely sad not to 5-0 with Cover Vial today. If I do, I owe friend Jack. Oh yeah. That's a good value, 5-0 though. Okay, so what can we do here? If we find any land with any land of the top, okay. So we could call for Raminap. Which plays around Thought-Knot very nicely. The problem is I am 1 land short of activating Reclaimer. I don't think I want to go call for another Reclaimer. So the question is, what do I want to play around, I think. If I want to play around another Thought-Knot, if I want to play around another, like a Karn or something, I think I'm just going to pass. And we can call for Primetime on instead. So my point is to have Thought-Knot exactly here. And kind of nothing else beats me. No, I can play around Thought-Knot. I have to call for Raminap and get value that way, but... Alright, so they had another Thought-Knot, so... Yeah, so we got God. That sucks. So there goes her call. No value in casting it, I'm failing to find, so... Just letting that go. And the question is, do we play around another Dismember? I don't think so. But I have to get up on land, so I think I'm gonna go Reclaim for... Yeah, we just go Reclaim for, what's his name, right? We go Reclaim for... Flagstones. Put a counter to this just because, and then we untap. Accidentally ran 61 cards. Nice. Alright, so sack this. Yes. Get a Plains. Get a Valakut. Almost yes, always yield. Boom. Dead. Draw. Forest. Let's go. I know I could have killed this other Thought Knot, but I don't think there's too much value in that. And if we survive, we win next turn. So they're kind of on all this dust or bust territory at this point. They cannot really win the fair game anymore. All right, sweet. Yeah, Leviathan. I've been studying out Vials against Prowess. It's been feeling okay. Not like excited or anything by it, but I'm honestly bringing in Damping Spheres mostly because I don't want these cards more than because I want it in the deck. But I've also been feeling like I lose to Tron and I don't lose to their fair game plan ever, basically, so. Would you say this is stronger, weaker, or just different than Amulet? Very different than Amulet. So different. If you're comparing this deck to Amulet Titan, then you probably don't understand what Amulet is or what this deck is. Which, to be fair, is exactly... It's very, very normal. Nobody understands this deck at first sight. I know that it probably has a lot to do with the name, if I'm being honest. I think it has to do a lot with the name, that the fact that I named it Titan Vial, because that's kind of how it was born. But yeah, this deck is worse than Amulet, I think. But it's better right now against the metagame. But in the abstract, I would say that this deck is worse than Amulet. But this deck actually has a reasonable matchup, even maybe a good matchup against Aether Gust, and Amulet has an unwinnable matchup against Aether Gust, so... I know it's different, I'm just asking if it's stronger or weaker. Yeah, but like, you're just comparing apples and oranges. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I built this deck because I was sick of losing to Aether Gust. I recommend you check out the podcast or this article if you want to learn more about this deck. But yeah, it's very, very different. It kind of has nothing to do with Amulet. Yeah, I'm gonna ship this, and I'm gonna keep this, and I think I'm gonna bottom Vesuva. Relic is interesting. It's not particularly good, if I'm being honest. They probably have enough dead cards and it could be worth bringing this in, but... Let's go. They didn't have a Matter Reshaper here, and now it's the only thing that they can cast, so... Oh, never mind. So they can cast the Thought Knot. The 2-for-1 Thought Knots here. A classic. Yep, there's a Thought Knot. So they're probably going to take the Knight. Unless they have a Dismember. But if they don't have a Dismember, they should take the Knight. He should take the Knight. Yep. Makes sense. Courser is an interesting pickup. I think I'm gonna go with Courser actually. And then we can track her next turn, and if we find the land off the top, we can do that. No blocks. How does it feel when your island in this deck gets boiled? What islands are you talking about? We don't play any islands. And I know that you're trying to make a joke about the Dryad here, but... I understand your joke, but no, I have not... I have played... How many matches so far? I have played 80 matches with this deck, and I have not gotten boiled just yet. Shouldn't you play Tracker and then Courser to give less info? No, I don't think so. Because I care more about the Courser, and like I was actually rewarded for my play. I care more about the Courser because I don't have a land to get value from the Tracker, so the Tracker is kind of worthless, honestly. I've seen it happen twice when Aspiring Spike stream. Do the time bell players remember their Dryad in the second case? Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been just pathing my Dryad in response or something. It's not a very... It's not a particularly sound strategy, basically. It's not a particularly sound strategy. So I think my opponent kind of has to kill this Reclaimer right here. So I'm not going to play the Vial into it. Pretty unfortunate that in our 27 land deck we're missing land drops, but c'est la vie sometimes. Oh, that's brutal. I love Boil doesn't feel as good against Dryad decks as it does against Control. Someone tried to boil me a couple of days ago. I path my Dryad response, then it's good. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's such a stupid strategy. Particularly from a deck in a deck like this. Like the only situation where I would say that Boil is okay to bring against the Dryad deck is specifically if you cannot beat the deck, right? So they can put 2 counters on this. That sucks. But if your plan is to boil the Titan deck, then... Like, for example, when Ponza brings in Boil against my Dryad deck, I'm like, sweet, that could be a real card. Good for us. The Guardian Spatial Contortion. They kind of have to kill... my Elvish Reclaimer, so it's not crazy. And this Dryad is not blocking, so I might as well attack. Yeah, they're putting counters on the Blast Zone. Which puts me in a really awkward spot here. So they're probably going to Tech Edge. Yep. I think we're just dead. Pog. Actually a great draw because it allows me to like to block the Thought Knot even if they kill my Dryad, so that's really funny. They might crack Blast Zone regardless and hope to top deck and answer to the Steve. It might be the line, honestly. They don't. Okay. Well, I guess that all of their answers to Steve, like even Ballista, they can still cast. Okay. So there goes the Blast Zone. It's okay. Dead. And now do you have the answer to Steve? Yes, you do. All right. Going to game 3. Nice, Stony Silence. Yeah, the deck has been a ton of fun. I'm still waiting for a couple of cards that I'm missing. But I got most of my stuff in the mail already. How do I feel about Path to Exiles? Play a line in this deck is just busted. I'm not gonna say that it's busted, but it's just one of the many decks that you can play in Modern. The surprise that Reclaim is still just 1.75 euros. Yeah. Actually, they spiked in Magic Online. I think they're like 10 ticks right now, which is really funny. They were like a tick. When I bought mine, I bought them for like a ticket or something, or right now they're 10. Probably like less than a ticket, like half a ticket or something. Keep. Sound is great. Reclaimer crazy value engine? Hell yeah. It is pretty crazy when it gets going. Just play a card list and thinking of playing 4 strings and no explore. I don't think I would recommend that. That is literally the best card that I could have top decked there. Bar none. Bar none, the best card I could have top decked. So we're gonna get planes here. And I think I'm just getting another Flagstones, and we're gonna get this train rolling. We can Titan next turn while go squattering my opponent. So sick. Well, we have no information about which cards they have, so I'm just gonna go for the power plant. Like, it just doesn't matter. So that's kind of what it is. All right, there's the tower. Reclaimer is so sick. Look. Wow. Look at all the value this Reclaimer has gotten. By itself, it got me all the way to turn 4 Titan. Easy. Let's go. So insane. So insane. Holy crap. We get the army going. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna attack here. I feel like I'm that far ahead that I can just trade with my opponent's Reshaper, no problem. Yeah, I'm not gonna Vesuva the Ghost Quarter when I can just cast a Titan instead. And with this list, we're actually playing Tectonic Edge, so like my opponent can have Tron for exactly 1 turn, and they better do something busted because we're winning on the next one. So really great showing for the deck right there. I cannot believe the Reclaimer has been... My dude, over here. Over here. My man. Good job. Good job. Good job. By itself or with Flaxen? Yeah, I mean... But like my I untapped with Reclaimer and everything just snowballed from there. The interaction with Flagstones is just so insane. I think we can do better on 6. If we had an untapped land, I would have kept that, but... Great showing for the deck right there. Great showing. Deck list is not online. Yes, it is. Now the question is, do I turn to this Steve? Well, now that I drew the second land, I am going to. Like, if they have a spell snare, we get got. Do you ever play Dark Depths Legacy deck by any chance? Seems like something you would like. Yeah, so I tried the Dark Depths deck. I tried it multiple times, but it wasn't a puzzle that I enjoyed. That's the way that I would put it. It's not the kind of puzzle that I enjoy. I enjoy Maverick a lot more in Legacy. I enjoy Esper Vial a lot more in Legacy. Those are the kind of decks that really play to my strengths and that I really, really enjoy playing. And alright, so we're playing against the blue deck here. And the Depths deck is nice and all, but... So Legacy Titan deck with Mox Diamond, yeah. I'm not fetching because my opponent showed me that they're playing a blue deck. So now I'm going to try to Vial this tracker in. Of course I get punished because I top deck another tracker, so I'm not going to be using my mana at all this turn. But it's not the end of the world because we get to bog them here, which is not awful. I saw a Cryptic right there though, so they're definitely playing... They're not playing like Shadow. So I'm not expecting Urma Anglers, I'm expecting Uros instead. Vial definitely going up to 3. Steve getting in there. One more time. And we're probably gonna play Tracker and draw 2. I think. We could play Tracker plus Dryad or double Tracker. But I think that just using my mana to draw 2 is gonna be more valuable. Maybe not. The thing is, I don't want my opponent to cash in their Romance and Mana Leaks and stuff. This is worse against removal, but it's better against counter magic by so much. Play more Titan in a bottle. Titan in a bottle. Sure. And yeah, I'll cash in Steve for a land and a card. Can you give a quick sentence summary why this deck is strong in Modern? Yes, it's called Article 3. I wrote an entire article on it, so you can check that out if you're interested in the deck. Alright, so... It basically attacks the metagame from an angle that it's not really taken into consideration. I think the least valuable creature here is actually the Dryad. Andrea with the 13 months subscription. Thank you so much. More than a year. Hell yeah. Long time. Looking to get into Paper Legacy in my LGS, but which deck would you suggest for one liking to play toolbox deck like Amulet, but also want to play blue for Force and Brainstorm? Easy peasy. Play Espervile. Espervile is the answer to everything that you're asking. Interesting how they're prioritizing killing the Dryad instead of killing the Reclaimer. This is the price here. But yeah, people really undervalue the Reclaimer in this deck, and then they lose to it, and they're like, what? Uh-oh. That's a problem. Woo! Dodge a bullet. Ah. Man. Let me look for a spell. Oh yeah, 100%. That's the answer that you're looking for. Oof, so many options here. Think Willy Don't Tracker. I think I'm gonna E-Wait for Reclaimer. Get a nice little double spell turn here. I guess triple spell turn. And now they have multiple threats that they gotta answer. Uro might be problematic. I'm not gonna lie. Uro might be problematic, or we can just Joy Valakut and just win. So there's also that, you know. My opponent has been smart though by like continuously keeping me off Reclaimer. Like that's the most powerful card in my deck, basically. Like bar none. It's just Reclaimer. It's the best card in my deck. Ish, their mana is a little bit sketch for 2 forests and a swamp in a deck with Cryptic Command. Night of Autumn. Well, that doesn't do shit. I mean, it's a 4/3, I guess. And it needs a mana leak. I'm snapping off this double block. Snapping it off, because if it points my opponent's removal towards my Ewit and or Knight, then I'm very happy. Titan Violent Legacy when? Probably not. Good look at the Legacy streams. Oh yeah, I've been streaming a lot of. Basically, when I've been streaming Legacy lately, it's been Espervile. So yeah, if you want to learn about that deck specifically, strongly recommend you check out my latest Legacy streams. Titan Pulse isn't that far off, really? No, it's very different. It depends on how you understand Amulet. If you understand Amulet as a ramp deck, then yeah, Titan Post is like the ramp deck in Legacy. If you understand Amulet as what it is, which is a toolbox deck, then Espervile is the one that's going to scratch that itch. Because Titan Boss has nothing of... Titan Boss has nothing related to that, basically. Wait, what? Yeah, you don't want to attack with that. Wait, what? Okay, there has to be something here. Because this attack makes no sense. Like, I literally have a free block there. They have push. Yeah, but that's fine. Like, if they're pushing this and not my Reclaimer, I'm happy. Like, this is fine. Anything that they're pushing that's not my Reclaimer, I'm happy about. So... And they didn't need to attack with this to trigger Revolt. Like, they already had the... They already had the land, so... If they Snapcaster push my Ewit, then we are... I think that we're actually just legit winning this game right now. And they still traded Euro. I am so confused. I am so confused. And I think I'm actually gonna save up both of these cards. And I'm not gonna feed their Uro. So if they attack with this, I'm just gonna take it. Because I don't want them to get to Uro me this turn. Yeah, I think that my opponent just doesn't understand how my deck works. I think that is what's going on here. Do we have lethal? I think we might have lethal here. No, we don't have lethal, actually. But we can exile their graveyard and basically bring them back to the Stone Age. No, we can go Sanctuary, which is better because it gives me more triggers. Again, I'm not killing the Snapcasters because that triggers Revolt. Also, they are doing literally nothing on this board state. Blow you. Well, look at you. And this Reclaimer is still winning the game by itself. And now that my opponent can't really do anything, we just chill. Just continue playing the game like this. Holding on to this land because we might need to kill something else. They are down to one card in hand. Whatever it is, probably it's not an answer to Dryad and it's not an answer to Reclaimer, because otherwise, you know, we would be playing a different game. And if we get into untap, we just win. So I think we're in fine shape here. Hey, Yams, how's it going? Sick. All right, so we're gonna lead on Dryad. See if they have like a Cryptic or something. We force them to use it right now. They can see. All right. All right. So Blue Soup is the name of the game here. We want Arasta. And my main deck is kind of sick against my opponent's deck. Gonna cut the Fountain because we're bringing in Tech Edge. We probably cut Knight of Autumn. What else can we cut? Like, Vials are insane. Reclaimer's obviously insane. Yeah, just cut the Knight of Autumn. Let's go. This is a great budget list. Yep, actually, yes. I don't think the deck is very expensive in paper, even. Which is what most people's concerns... what concerns most people is what I want to say. How much is this in paper? There. Thalias are $10. That's wild. Vesuva is $30. Holy crap. Temple Garden are like $10 each. More. That's like $12 each. Holy crap. Wow. I was kind of not expecting those prices. Also, Dryad went up. The playset is like $50. Yeah, Modern is kind of expensive, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna ship this. This is what we call the nuts in the business. Probably Steve. You thought the online prices were paper? No. I mean, it is very cheap in online. Like, if you're trying to get into MTGO or something, this is actually the pretty solid deck. Online is like 200 ticks for the entire deck. The only expensive cards are Reclaimer, because we made them spike, and Aether Vials. Did we also spike Aether Vials? No, I think Vials spiked when what's his name became a thing. When the Gobos deck became a thing. I'm fortunate that we're not gonna be able to get value from this bog. Like, we just kind of just have to play it and pass. But we need to be able to activate Reclaimer on the untap. So that kind of sucks. Maybe there was a reason to keep Steve. Just because it works better with our mana curve. Abrupt Decay. Oh, Trophy is fine. We're okay with Trophy. Oh yeah, Reclaimers are still very cheap in paper, so if you want to get some, probably a good time to do it. Damn, Trophy is a costly endeavor. So we don't play around Shadowed Out because we can't really beat it. But what I'm trying to think if there's a way that I think we can activate. Yeah, we can go get Sanctuary, right? So we sack the Temple Garden. Leave the white floating, sack this, go get Sanctuary, and then we get to play Thalia here, which is not bad. If they have Shadowed Out, they have Shadowed Out, but not that we can play around it. We still have Vesuva if we want to get back the bog and stuff. But this Thalia is actually, like, my opponent will need to deal with this. And if they're dealing with it with another Assassin's Trophy, then we are super happy about this. They can't Archmage's Charm, so maybe this is like a mana leak. Thought Scour themselves. Ha, so they did keep mana leaks. That's very interesting. Wow, such disrespect for the Reclaimer. They could have pushed the Reclaimer and they didn't. That's wild. Let's lead with Courser. With Ski. I'm not attacking because like Snapcaster, like that would be a 2-for-1. I'm not into that really. So we're just gonna play the Vial here. Just pass the turn. Missing a land drop there. Not great. Not great. But it is what it is. They kept Force? Wow. Okay. Do you prefer this deck over Amulet? Why do people continue saying that? Why do people keep asking always the same questions? It's just like, the fact that I'm trying something new does not mean that Amulet is unplayable. It does not mean that I don't like Amulet anymore. It doesn't mean that I think this is better than Amulet. It just means that I am trying something new. And in this specific case, it's because I think that this deck is better than Amulet against the current meta specifically. I don't think this deck is better than Amulet. I don't think that. Do you prefer this over Band Stoneblade? Get out of here, Leviathan. Get out of here. Shoot. Shoot. Get out of here. Do you prefer Vial over Drumming, really? Starting to get the sense that I might be getting trolled here. Is that true? Am I getting trolled, chat? You wouldn't troll me, chat, right? You wouldn't do that to me. Okay, so what do we want to throw under the bus? Because we're going to be throwing something under the bus. Probably this Dryad. It's the least relevant card in my deck. Twitch chat troller streamer. I wouldn't believe that if you told me. If you told me that Twitch chat would be trolling a streamer, I would be like, no, you must not. You can't be talking about Twitch chat. Maybe you would like Neoform Titan if you tried it. That hurts my brain just the fact that you said that just hurt my brain. I feel like I lost a couple of what's his name? A couple of brain cells. All right, so I guess my opponent doesn't want to play this game anymore. What are we gonna do? Titan value Neobrand. Huh. So I guess if we draw 7 with Neobrand, that's pretty good value. Why is this deck good against the current metagame? Because it doesn't lose to Eldrazi, basically. I wrote an article about it, Bernardo. You can check that out. Sand is so close. As I already said multiple times, one of the weakest aspects of this deck is its mana base. We saw that in full bloom right there. We're keeping this hand. Think we're gonna bottom the Temple Garden? Yeah. It's like any line is just fine. Either Vial beats Aether Gust, so you need Aether Hammer and the game will be solved. Exactly. Oh, also I have to add the exclamation point podcast. Well, my opponent thought teases me. How close do you think this deck is on the final version? Still a lot of science to be done. So much science to be done with this deck. The deck is 3 weeks old, and it's basically me working on it and nobody else. Now, in the past week, people have started catching on, and I've seen a lot of people trying things out. Apparently, one of the 5.0 lists, we can check that out real quick, actually. I think it was here. Whoops. So, Elvish Reclaimer. There you go. Yeah, so this is somebody that has been trying out some stuff, I think. I'm gonna show the list in a second. Sure, let's do that, I guess. Here we go. So, oh no, never mind. That's not the one. Elvish Reclaimer. There we go. So in this list we're trying a bunch of different things. Tuhoahatane, whoever that is. They were trying One of Giver, Nissa Vaswood Seer, Scavenging Ooze, and that's it. And they're playing Castle Artemis. This has to be a typo because this card sounds horrible in our deck, like so bad. So this has to be a typo. And they wanted to play castle, like a green castle instead, and they just registered the wrong one. To Arasta, yeah. So I haven't tried Giver just yet. I just don't think it's good enough, honestly. And I did try Nissa, and it was pretty lackluster. Scavenging Ooze was actually suggested to me multiple times, and I actually have not given it a shot just yet. How does my opponent have a 5/5 Shadow? Damn, son. Well. Probably gonna get Dismember, then it's gonna die to a push or something. We blinked! Yeah, I know, we blinked and there's a 5/5 Shadow on the other side. It's like, what? What? Wouldn't this deck evolve to another? No, it wouldn't. Look at the deck, Bernardo. Just like, look at the deck and how it's built. It has nothing to do with a banned deck. Like, you cannot splash another color in this deck. Like, I don't care what it is that you're splashing, it's not worth it. I don't care which color you're trying out. It's not worth destroying this deck or this deck's already shaky mana base to add another color. It's just not worth it. Also, maybe I shouldn't have fetched here. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have fetched there. Oh, just we're working our way up towards Golos, I guess. Did they make a blue flagstone? So we're going back to green blue? Probably not. I mean, I guess we would be trading. Is this lethal? So they take 3, this is up to 8, 16. We can throw a Champerino in there, sure. This is bad if they have K command. But like K command is just brutal for us already anyway. Thalia and Path are kind of rough to replace in blue. Yeah, particularly Thalia. It's pretty minuscule, or like, is minuscule? Yeah, minuscule is a word, right? Yeah, minuscule is definitely a word. Yeah, it's pretty small, but like Thalia actually does a lot of work in this deck. All right, land off the top would be sick, but I guess it's correct for me to uptick this file because we're not dead on board. And we get immediately punished brutally by upticking the vial. Which again, I think it was the correct line, but still. But Ura. God damn it, Ura. So good. Well, we have to jump. And we die to TBR, obviously. And at this point, when we have the Violent 4, we're upticking to 5 as well. And Thoughtseize just destroys us, obviously. Okay, Angler. Beats, thank you for the follow. I tried Shadow in my deck. I mean, we can shock a bunch if we want to, right? So we get instant speed Zombos here. It's not bad. Not bad. Still dead to TBR, but we can't beat TBR, so. Since we can't beat TBR, we should not play around it. We have to chomp the Shadow. So you have to chomp the Shadow, but I'm gonna take the damage from the Angler because we can actually set up lethal on the Crackback. Which, considering how far behind we are here, I think that we need to try to do. Turn 5. We still don't lose to Bolt, but we get kind of wrecked by Snapcaster. We do have a solid amount of draws that kind of win us the game, so that's cool. It has to be a snow-covered forest. And now we're gonna crack back for lethal, and this I'm gonna update this to 6 because we can have instant speed Titan. Plays around K command very nicely. Land of the top. Land so I can trigger. Yes. Hog. I mean, I think I should have to go for lethal here. We lose to Snapcaster plus removal spell, but they didn't have removal spell last turn? There's also the chance that we should just be attacking with the Golos. There's also the chance that we should just be attacking with the Golos. Yeah, and now we're dead to Fatal Push. Yeah, maybe we should have just attacked with Golos actually. That would have been a better line, because that means that we can survive one removal spell. Yeah, that would have been a better line. Yeah, push is also good. Yeah, we should have just attacked with Golos, and if my opponent wants to throw a Snapcaster under the bus, that's fine. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Now, in retrospect, now that I assess the board state a little bit better, we should have just attacked with Golos and hold back double zombie to block. Unless we're getting brutally slow rolled here, they don't seem to have it, so there's that. Though we might be getting brutally slow rolled, we don't. We're not. Okay. So it's gonna be an always no, always yield kind of situation. And I guess we go for lethal here because it's not getting better for us. All right, sick. We got there. Have I tried Dread Arboring in the deck, you mean? Dread Arbor has the very, very high cost, which is that it sucks. It's just a terrible card. It's a land that has Summon in Sickness, so it effectively enters tapped, and you're also allowing your opponent to push your, like, Stone Rain becomes Fatal Push. Like the cost is a lot higher than the upside. There's basically no upside. Like people, it's just a cute play basically. That you get to activate Vial for 0 and you play your Dried Eyebrow. Ha 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 ha. Like that is, it's so bad. It's not worth it basically. But yeah, there are just so many things to try with this deck, and I am there's not that many that I am immediately disregarding, and Dread Eyebrow is one of those. Like again, I'm playing Nylea and Arasta in my deck, right? So clearly, clearly I am not just randomly disregarding things for no reason. Clearly I am in the business of trying things out, but Dread Eyebrow is like the payoff is just not there. It's just so you can feel smart because you activated Vial for 0 and actually got some value out of it, you know? But like that is just not a payoff. And the cost is way too high. So we cut Ghost Quarter. Path and Purge, both are excellent. I think on the draw I'm going to cut a Thalia. Maybe on the play we cut a Knight instead. Dread Eyebrow only works with Green Sun Zenith. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if Green Sun Zenith were legal, I would probably not be playing this deck, right? And we're keeping this hand because it's great. He's got a Worth instead of 1 Damping Sphere. I tried it and it was bad. It just didn't do the stuff that it was supposed to do, basically. It just died to a Fatal Push or like a Bolt, and then my opponent was just able to do whatever the hell they wanted. Alright, so we have a couple of options here. We can run this into Stubborn Denial, which I think it's what I'm gonna do, or we can just play my Reclaimer into a push. And I think that running this into Stub is gonna be better. So they don't have Stub, because this is definitely worth stubbing for them. So we know that they might have honestly just sided out their stubs, which means that our purges are probably gonna be good. Greenson can get either gusted. Yeah, it can. It definitely can. But Greenson Zenith, it's just so good that I think I would play it anyway. Even with Aether Gust. And ban Zenith, yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I should get in touch with Everos about it, because if you remember, we did the Unbanned series, and we kind of also did that one episode, and I was thinking about doing another one where we build decks using Punishing Fire and Green Sun Zenith. Or the episode that we did was about Pod and Twin, and Lustrous in the main do anything for this deck? Nope. But yeah. Lure Steve combination, Kriegasm. Spiked Reach, how's he going? As long as my opponent is doing nothing here, I am kind of okay with this. This Reclaimer is gonna run face first into a push, but whatever, we can just... I still have to uptick this Vial anyway, so... Alright, my opponent's gonna do something. I assume that they are going to shock there, and they do. Snapcaster, Inquisition. So that means that we're gonna get to untap with Reclaimer, which is awesome. yeah, it's more valuable for us to... They're gonna take my my Eternal Witness, but that's fine. But now we get to untap with Reclaimer, which is sick. And we're gonna start getting value with it. I guess I'm not gonna show them, but this means that I'm obviously gonna sack the Temple Garland now. They can use another discard spell, but like discard spell is gonna be okay for them regardless. And if they are using discard spells, maybe they don't have... Maybe they don't have for my Reclaimer. I will not block, thank you. Shadow. Boom. I think I'm forced to get Flagstones here. It sucks if they have an answer to the Reclaimer now, but... And this would be the correct time, like after I choose what I do, would be the correct time to use the answer. But I think it's still correct for me to do this. Well, that's sick. Alright, so... Things are working out nicely here. Another Purge. Okay. So there's nothing they can get back with Bog. So I think I'm just gonna get Field going here. And we get to draw a card. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Alright, we're looking good here. We're looking pretty good. I suspect that this Shadow... Like, they're... Oops, I wanted to purge this in upkeep. My bad. Not sure Green Sand might be too good for Modern. I don't know. I don't know, but it would be fun to find out, right? The good thing is that we don't need to play around Stub, so I'm just gonna jam this Purge. Well, I guess I kind of do want to draw this path, so if my opponent doesn't buff this Shadow, I think I might just let them untap. I might just like go to my draw step, because like if we draw this path, if this Purge is not forced out of my hand by a discard spell or something, I think that I'm just going to be happy. Or with a lethal attack, of course. And I'm happily taking 4 here. This doesn't matter whatsoever. People having 8 Uros. I mean, people are already not playing the full amount of Uros, right? So, ooh. It's kind of hot. Yeah, so this turn we're gonna get to start triggering Field, which is real nice. Also, Sinus shuffles back and it doesn't feel Ursa perfectly. Yeah, exactly. It's not a great Uro synergy. Why is Ursa not as popular as before? Because like all the cards that made Ursa really, really good have been banned. I think I'm gonna start with Path to Exile here. So we could ball ourselves here. I don't think that's too great EV, so we're just gonna do this instead. Another shadow. Yeah, opponent's down to one card in hand. They got nothing. They got nothing. Nothing. Blast Zone, I guess? Oh, sure. I guess we also have that one. Sick. Yeah, that sounds like something I would like to draw. Keeping this on 3, drawing the Purge. Just gonna main phase this Purge right here. Boom. And this should be enough to win the game here. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, my opponent is in desperation mode over there. This game is over, folks. They are literally dead on board and there's nothing that can save them. Engineered explosives, I guess. Engineered explosives buys them 1 turn. They still die to 2 attacks of the Reclaimer. Solid start. Solid start. How do you get the idea to build this? Doesn't mean that to do better, but it's, you know, actually good. Well, it actually is. The only similarity that it has with Valitan is the fact that it has Knight of the Reliquary and Raminap and a Corsair and Tracker in it. But play-wise, it has nothing to do with the old Value Town decks. I will actually take a short break right now so I can go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. Sorry for this. But yeah, if you want to check it out, I actually have a podcast and I wrote an article about the deck. So there's a lot of information out there about it. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Yeah, I guess it's the good thing about, you know, an active content creator coming up with a deck is that, you know, probably it's gonna be a lot of content on the deck, you know. It's kind of nice. Turn 1 Bile. Can't complain too much. Ancient Sigurath. Humans. The humans matchup is interesting. And that's all I have to say about that. No, it's actually super tricky. Usually the things that I have been losing to the most, well, that doesn't do anything, so that's cool. So my opponent has a very awkward Thalia start, which is great for us. We want to try to get... So I guess we're going to get to Courser next turn, and then on the following turn we can draw it into Ranger Captain into Elvish Reclaimer. First iteration of this deck is wild. Good article. Thank you. Yeah, when the deck just started, it didn't really have like a very clear direction that it was going. So it was just kind of like, okay, chat, so which cards do we want me to play? And then it kind of started off like that. And then after playing a couple of leagues, you know, you kind of start developing a feeling for what the deck actually wants to be doing. And that's when things started to go better, you know? Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go with Courser here. Maybe I should have gone with Dryad. Ugh. That's a lot of damage. We might be just a tad short, I think. How much is this? So this is 4, 8, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be 4, 8, 10, 13. So we're going down to 1. But at least we're gonna have a Courser. Okay, so let's see if there's a castle on top here. Valakut. That's interesting. So I'm trying to see if I can set up a Titan for next turn, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. And I can't both Ranger Captain and Knight of Autumn, unfortunately. So we can gain 3 life from the fountain plus 1 more, so that's 4 life. Then we die to either Noble Hierarch. What can we draw off the top? Is there anything that we can draw off the top that would save us? Well, actually, we could Dryad plus Knight of Autumn. No, I think I want to play this Valakut. So if we Dryad plus Knight, If we Dryad plus Knight, we get to gain 4 life from the lands plus 4 from the Knight of Autumn. I think that's the line. I think that's the line. And if Dryad survives... If Dryad survives and... yeah, if Dryad survives, we just win. If Dryad survives, we just win. I think we might actually win this game. I think that Reflector Mage is the only thing that beats us. I think Reflector Mage is the only thing that... No, not even! Not even, because we can just violin the... So Meddling Mage on Primeval Titan is the only thing that beats... No, not even, because we can just play lands and kill the Meddling Mage. Yeah, I think we actually just win here. Second Mantis Rider... Does that do it? Another Lieutenant does not do it. Oh, wow. Being vacationing, please tell me Vial is a meme. It's not. It's definitely not a meme. So, game 4. And we're going to block here. And I guess this is what we're doing. So we remain at 6 life. Yeah, this is the line, because this is the line that allows the Dryad to survive. And now we also don't die to Kessig Malcontents. Melee Mage. Yeah, I think we just have it covered. I think we literally have all the bases covered here. Yeah, because they cannot have Dismember, right? Wow, they did have Mage and Primeval Titan, and it just doesn't matter. That's awesome. Alright, so this is gonna stay on 3. Did Plague Engineer kill humans? I don't think so. There's not that many decks out there that play Plague Engineer, really. Kill that one. Always yes, always healed. Bounce this, replay this, gain some life for good measure. Kill that one. Could I have set up lethal? I don't think I could have set up lethal here, but we can just wipe their board, which is effectively the same, so. No, actually we could have set up lethal. This is more fun though. What do I think of worse than the current meta? Thinking to get that in paper or Dice Factory or the green black Yawgmoth combo deck. Decisions are hard. Yeah, particularly when all of those decks have literally nothing in common. So anything that you are buying for one deck is not at all transferable to another one. So those are usually the toughest decisions to make, because you know you cannot really steer into a different direction after the fact, after you buy the cards. Maybe. I mean, depends on what you want to do. It depends on what deck you enjoy the most, and it also depends on what's more fun for you and what you want to be doing in Magic. That's like the beauty of Magic. Everybody enjoys the decks and the formats differently. Personally, out of all the decks that you named, I would go with Ursa, because it's the one that appeals to me personally the most. Dasma, get Titan Vial, it's better in current meta. I mean, that's what I would do, yeah. Vial, Titan, emote when? Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to my friend Ivan today, actually, right after the stream, and we're gonna figure out all the new emotes that we're gonna be using. So this is 60. Yeah, there's really nothing else that I want to play from my sideboard, so this is fine. I kind of love having trackers or ramming up in my deck, but it's probably better than the alternatives, right? Yeah, I don't think we can keep this. Is Annihilate the card I side out the most? It's possible. Keep this. Probably bottom the Ramunap? Actually, I'm gonna bottom the Arasta. Yeah, but the fact that I'm siding out a card a lot does not mean that it's bad. That is a very, very common misconception. Like, people think that if there's a card that you're playing in your deck that you are just siding out a bunch, it's because it's bad. And that's just not true. Like, Nylea has a very specific reason why it's in my deck. And it turns out that whenever... But it's one of those cards, like, it's a one-off in my deck that I can 2-4 against the decks that it's good. But it's also like a card that I can very easily just cut and sideboard out when it's bad. And the difference between having access to it or not having access to it when I need it, it's pretty huge. Very interesting that they kept a turn 2 Kite Sail freebooter hand and they were somehow not punished for it. Knight of Autumn is kind of gross here. I mean, it's not that bad actually. It's kind of whatever. Like, it's turn 3 and their clock is awful. I definitely wish I had access to Arasta now instead of this stupid Ramunap, so that's the downside of the line that I took, but it's okay. No, for me it means that it's a play should be better in this sideboard if I side a lot a main board card. Not necessarily though. Not necessarily. Yeah, this is just not a good card against us. Like, they were really lucky that they were able to take one card from me. But it's definitely not a good card in their deck. Sorry, I missed that follow. Thank you for that follow, Elch Gulash. Elch Gulash. Meddling Mage. Gonna name Ramunap Excavator. Sounds good to me. Why did I not play the Excavator? Because I'm planning on using Reclaimer instead. I'm gonna go get Blast Zone. My opponent does not really have a clock here, right? Oof. That's pretty good. Now if they do something that matters, if all they do is attack for 2, I don't even have to activate this Blast Zone. I can just sack Flagstones and just continue developing my game plan. I don't know why humans would be afraid of Ramunap or whatever. Yeah, exactly, that's the point. Like, it's kind of a waste of a Meddling Mage. But it's okay. Helps me. And if they play another 2-drop, then I can actually take up the Blast Zone instead of activating Reclaimer. Thalia's Lieutenant. Alright. So we're taking up Blast Zone and we're destroying my opponent's board. At this point, I think that maybe they should have attacked with their other 2 creatures as well. Oh, hello. Killing 4 things with land seems good. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. It also enables my path, right? Because I kill the freebooter, so the path goes back to my hand and I still have the 1 mana. How many times have I been Aether Gusted today? None. Because I'm playing a deck that beats Aether Gust. Decon, thank you for the follow. What do I think about to Aether? I should just make add com suggesting. If you suggest a card, I will ask you same questions. What problem are we trying to fix? How is this your alternative, I guess, better than what I'm currently running? And what would you cut for it? There we go. Yeah, I think this is enough to just crack. Can this be a Hoogland command? No, it's all good, Hotashi, but I'm asking you the questions. Oh no, Decon was the one that asked the questions. But yeah, that's what you need to be thinking of. Wait, what? That resolves. Man, their hand really sucks. I don't even care about pathing either of these creatures. I played Red White Prowess for 4 leagues next night and Power Trip, nice. Why do people still play humans? I don't know. You should know, Andrea. Why don't you tell me why people still play humans? It's fun and they own the cards. Yep, that sounds like a great reason. Okay, this is just gonna be game here. Amulet of Bigger should be legendary. Damn, Fruit Media got you that hard, huh? Fruit Mania got you that hard, Hotashi. Brutal. That's how you know somebody has been hurt badly. When we are actually reaching the amulet should be the amulet should be legendary thing, you know? Pone conceits. It's really funny. I went 3-7 yesterday, and then today I went 5-0 into 4-0. Back to back 4-0s? Question mark? Is the deck broken? Has Modern been solved? Man, I need a command like Spike Link's command. That command is so good. How did he do that? How did he pull that off? Even before I ran into Neoform. Shh! Don't say that! Why would you do that to me? Hadmatsu again. God damn it. I lost a lot against interactive decks like Shadow that killed me in the matchup important 3-drop, so I missed some speed and removal protection. I would cut the Elder Gargaroth and I did not really like the Knight. Okay, Con, that's good. That's a good assessment, and that's exactly what I was asking for from you. So there are different things that you can. There are different ways that you can go about it. First of all, you should check out my current list because I'm not even running Gargaroth anymore, and I did some changes already. So what I'm running, I think I'm gonna keep this hand actually. From what I'm running right now, I'm actually playing Ranger Captain of Eos, which has been pretty solid, and it gets me card advantage with Reclaimer and stuff, and also it's pretty solid at slowing down combo decks as well. But yeah, you can play Giver. You can play Giver, as long as you're cutting something that makes sense. Also, that's a mistake. I punted there. They went and got Tectonic Edge. That's an interesting one. I'll take it, though. So we have a Thought Knot here. We're gonna see what they take, and we're probably... If they don't have an answer to Reclaimer, they should probably take the Reclaimer, honestly. They take the Courser. Lafar's one, thank you for the follow. I guess that I could draw... What could I draw that I would want to have sacked this Steve right now? What could I have drawn? What could I draw that I would like to sack Steve? Tracker, Aether Vial, Tracker, Vial, another Reclaimer. Yeah, Steve is for life. That's why I'm trying to figure out if I want to sack it right now or not. If I draw Dryad, it doesn't matter. So I would not want to sack Steve in case I draw Dryad. If I draw Courser, if I draw second Courser. If I draw second Courser, it would be good. Yeah, sure. I guess that there are enough draws. Like the Ranger Captain is also a draw that I would like to sack the Steep for. Okay. Unlucky, but that's fine. No need to go Squatter just yet. They have a... Okay, they have Smasher. Annoying, but not the end of the world. I think we can take 9 here. Okay, that's a draw. Tracker. Need to Fountain. So now we can trade with their Thought Knot. Mully Dully seems better at doing stuff because we play almost more lands and spells, and helps us Scry also makes super better than Nelia. What? I have no idea what you just said, Andrea. Did I try Cobra? No, I 5-0'd with this list, so I just tried out this list again because value. Sure. Sky Sovereign, Consul Flagship. So Dryad is our best draw here. Honestly, if we draw Dryad, we kinda win. Well, that's not quite Dryad. Damn. It's not quite it. Oh wait, no, it is. No, this is fine, right? 1-2, get Dryad, 3 mana, and then we activate Reclaim. Yeah, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Never mind. Oh no, Thalia, god damn it. So I have to chomp attack with Thalia. That's hilarious. So now we get to kill the Thought Knot, which is hilarious. Love it. Love it. Next level plays, chat. Next level plays. We probably have to kill the Karn though. We probably have to kill the Karn. My opponent activated my trap card. We're gonna have to chomp the Thought Knot here, which is a problem, but... Wait, what? Oh, so they have Ballista? Yeah, they have Ballista for 3. Eugene de Ineffable. My opponent is really underestimating what this deck can do. Can we set up lethal from here with this Eternal Witness draw? We might be able to, so... We... sack this, go get second Valakut. Valakut, that's 6 damage. Then we play Eternal Witness, we get back Flagstones, we deal 6 damage. And then we go squat our own Flagstones, and then we deal, yeah, my opponent. Really underestimating the power of the Reclaimer. Always yes. Green, green, and 1. Ewit. Flagstones. Yes. Play Flagstones. Aptic. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, at all. This is what I get for not being more careful with clicking avoiding, says my opponent. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that they had it won there, because we could have like gotten Dryad back anyway, and we kind of can wipe their entire board as is. But let's say that it worked out for us. Cut a vial and bring in some damp spheres, I guess. Do I want Path or Damping Sphere? Should have just cut the vials, it's another alternative. Let's try this, actually. It's too many Damping Spheres, though. Let's do this. The fun of Vial. Have I ever played Aristocrats in Modern? Yes, I did, like way back in the day. My friend Keenan is a fan of the archetype, and he would lend me his deck a couple times. How has Nylea been? It's significantly better than a card like Vivian Reed? Yes, because it's a creature that you can go get whenever you want with your tutors. So kind of by definition, it's better than a Planeswalker. So my opponent gonna respect the Reclaimer this time? Brutal. I think we have to slow them down here, unfortunately for us. I think we blow up a tower. Okay, so they did not get Blast Zone. Good for us. Notice that in a matchup against Band, you don't want to turn on the god because of Path. Not being a creature would help in that aspect. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But like, you don't need to turn it on, right? That's kind of why it's good. If you need to turn it on, and if it's good to turn it on, you can do it. And if it's not good, you just don't. It's pretty flexible in that sense, which is nice. I think Aristocrats is criminally underrated. I don't think it's a top tier strategy or anything like that, but I think that the archetype should be played more. It's possible, but also people play what they own, and people also play what they like. And if people don't own or don't like that deck, then they might not play it. It's kind of how it works with Modern. Interesting. Definitely getting Flagstones here. Nylea. Copy my opponent's Ghost Quarter past the turn. We can double block their TKS if we want. Damping Sphere doesn't seem bad in Tron. So the reason why I'm bringing some forms of that in, it's because the matches that I do lose, it's because of Tron specifically, right? I don't lose to this kind of draws. I don't see myself losing to very often. But when they have Tron on turn 3 and then they do like all the nonsense, that's the matches that I lose against Eldrazi Tron. They're like refusing to take my Titan, nor my Elvish Reclaimer, which are literally the best cards in my hand right now. Thing that I find quite interesting. Get a Temple Garden. And I think I'm just gonna get another Flagstones. Got kinda punished there. Now I'm just gonna play the Valakut here. I'm not gonna expose the other Reclaimer. Spheres are right at the cyber of each round to play against Green Tron and Storm. That's debatable. Honestly, I'm not a Tron player by any means, so I don't know. Okay, so they bottom, so I'm just not gonna go squatter them. Okay. Let's see what they get here. They might get Blast Zone. They get Tower instead. So they have to have another Thought-Knots here. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No attacks. Go get the planes. That was actually something that I didn't point out. Like, this draw was just awful. Best friend plays G-Tron, I will never accept that. Brutal. So I think that I'm just gonna get another Flagstones here, and then I'm gonna sack it to go get Field, and we're gonna start to get that going next turn. Flagstones, boom, boom, sack Flagstones. So we did run out of fetchables here, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. Oh. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Back-to-back 5-0s. Easy. Back-to-back 5-0s. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Just getting the classic back-to-back 5-0 run. All right, so yesterday the win rate plummeted, and today it went back to stable. So 71-24, the current win rate. Just that Thug Life, yeah. This list feels pretty powerful, honestly. Karamono GG's. Was that you that we just faced? Whoops. I don't remember your name, sorry. Well, I can't see anymore. But if it was you, GG's, GG's. Alright, so this list is cool. I like it. The Ranger Captain, it didn't do a lot of work in that particular league, but it did a reasonable amount of work in the previous list that I 5-0'd right before this one. Oh, not me, just... Oh, thank you, Carmona, yeah. 74% much win rate seems pretty strong. Yeah, it's been okay. It's been okay. This Ranger Captain could be another Eladamri Skull. I just want to point that out. And it is probably also worth exploring, adding different 1-drops. Giver was suggested earlier, and Hex Drinker was also suggested at one point. I don't think I'm too interested in Hex Drinker, but it was... Giver actually seems like it might be okay. These are motor leaks, so I don't know how reliable that is. Yeah, exactly. It's okay. Like, it's not like the most reliable data, but it's still like not free, right? It's a lot better than I was doing in motor leagues with Amulet before I brewed this deck. So Givers is more like a cyber card, but not a modern expert. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, Forged Tender seems like a little bit too underpowered. Yeah, play Shadow. Shadow to go get with Ranger Captain. Cast it off the bog. Easy. Why 2 Golos? Because this is a ramp deck. And Golos is a 5 mana, half a Primeval Titan, which is fine. This is here kind of from the original list, and I have just been happy with it, and I haven't felt the need to change it. MK3L23, think it will follow. Giver eats the face removal instead of Reclaimer, so maybe... Yeah, that's basically what Giver does. It just eats a removal spell. It's a lightning rod for removal spells. But the problem with Giver is that it costs me to not play another card, right? That is basically the cost of any card that you want to try in this deck, is taking the space of another card that you're not going to be playing, right? So if I want to play Giver, I maybe don't want to play like a Nylea or a Ranger Captain or a Knight of Autumn in the main deck. And like that is kind of the issue. What are the flex slots? The flex slots are this, this, and this. Everything else is kind of written in stone. The only other thing that I could see myself cutting would be the second copy of Golos. The 2 prime times are probably the minimum that I want to play. But maybe I could see like trimming one of the Golos. I don't like cutting Golos altogether because like Golos comes in, like sometimes it really comes in clutch. So I don't think that I want to go below the 1. Is Summoner's Pact worth testing? I think that Pact is just worse than Illidan's Call in this deck. -1 Golos +1 Titan is like a good change. Why? This is not a Primeval Titan deck. Very often you die with I guess not very often, but sometimes you just die with a Titan that you weren't able to cast in your hand. Also, having the flexibility of Golos allows you to play around not only Aethergust, but also Meddling Mage and stuff like that. We already tried Oracle. Yes, it was in the original list, and it was very bad. It was very bad. Funny how this deck has more white sources than green sources. Yes, but you are always actively looking for your white sources instead of your green sources. You're the other way around. So you're always actively looking for your green sources instead of your white sources. So even though you have like this, and this, and this. So these are all your green sources, right? Which is 12. And then we would cut, these are the only green sources, which are these 5, and then we would be adding this 6. So we have 12 green sources and 13 white sources. But you're always, like, with your fetches and stuff, you're always actively looking for your green sources instead of your white sources. And honestly, what you care about the most is not so much your color split, but also the fact that your lands enter untapped. So like these are not lands that enter untapped, but these are really what you care about the most, because these 19 lands are the ones that cast your Vial on turn 1, which is the big deal. And these 8 cards enter the battlefield tapped. I had a lot of people tell me like, why don't I play Caver Crossroads instead of Radiant Fountain? And like, I think that the cost of entering tapped is so much higher than the cost of like the white source that I'm missing. How I try the Cascading card to find Golos is not worth it. Like basically whatever land you want to add to the deck needs to either go in their place of a card and just play 28 lands, or it needs to be better than a basic forest, just like in Amulet, right? Any land that you add to the deck needs to be better than a basic forest, and I think that most lands are not better than a basic forest in this deck. It's just a cool synergy, yes, but with a very high cost, so it's not worth it. It's the same with Dry Diver. Like, yeah, it has synergy with Aether Vial, it's cute, but it's not worth the cost. So let's run a Hornets in the sideboard. Would that be something decent against Prowess? Minimum gets 2 Death Touch blockers. Yes, Big Daddy Snow. That's one of the cards that I was willing to test. The problem is that the flyers just fly through the Hornet Nest just the same, and against the Black Prowess deck, they will just push your Hornet Nest and fly through. We talked about this in the podcast. So if you want like a deeper analysis, we discussed it with Jose and Jack in the podcast. So you can check that out if you want to find my thoughts about that. I may cut the Fountain for a green sword. I don't think so. The Fountain is just so good. So many times I just find myself winning because I'm able to like reclaim her for a Fountain and then like bounce it, replay it, gain some surprise life that way, and they just get them. If you want to kill Prowess, kill Rudik Thar. Nope. Rudik Thar is awful against Prowess. It's probably going to be dead by the time that you can... You're probably going to be dead by the time that you can cast it. Fountain is boss? Yes. Exactly. Curious about the reason behind Edge in the sideboard. Tron, Eldrazi Tron, control decks, etc, etc. Against like Tron and decks like that, you want to cut Bojuka Bog, but you kind of don't want to go down on lands. Like you actually actively want to have access to a lot of lands. And Deck Edge is a really, really good card to be taking out of that slot. Also, Tron sometimes Pine Needles your Ghost Quarters, and having access to Deck Edge allows you to still disrupt them. Also, the best card in the mirror, the best card for Tron against us is O-Stone. And Tech Edge allows you to get to basically never let your opponent have O-Stone mana. Is Van Control with Uro still good? Yes. Have I tried your one of Tomic in the sideboard? There you go, Matthias. I would pronounce it Matthias, but maybe it's Matthias. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Is Steve needed in the deck? Yes. It really helps with the consistency, and you want to get to 7 lands for Field of the Dead and to 6 lands for Valakut. So yeah, Steve actually is pretty good. What is the absolute worst matchup so far? Scape Shift. Scape Shift and Amulet are far and away the worst matchups. They are kind of unwinnable, almost unwinnable. Have I played against Inverted Modern ones? I have, yes. You didn't like Eidolon in the side? There's 2 copies. So yes, I did like it. Yeah, Neobrand is also really bad. Out of the box, return to Kasandu is impossible for Prowess to interact with. Ok. Sí, me parece que ya voy a cortar igual. Return to Kasandu. That's interesting. I think it's an enchantment, so I think that I'm not going to be interested in this card. I'm playing Core Firewalkers against Prowess, but I'm always down to listen to people's suggestions and kind of see what's up. Return to... Oh, retreat to Kasandu. There it is. So what is this? Whenever lands under battlefield control, choose one, put a 1. Yeah, this card is unplayable. Yeah, that card is not playable, so no. Gaining 2 life a turn is not gonna save you against Prowess. Gaining 5 life a turn doesn't save you against Prowess. Gaining 6 life a turn doesn't save you against Prowess. Red Fortune, thank you for the follow. Why 2 Eidolon? Because I want to draw it against the matchups that I wanted against, particularly Storm and Ad Nauseam, stuff like that. Collected companies to have a lot of good hits. This is not a company deck. Yeah, this is not a company deck. Don't get confused. This is not a company deck. If you cast Collected Company with this deck, you would get 18, 22 hits. You have 22 hits if you cast a Collected Company. So your chances of whiffing or just getting one creature out of your Collected Company are very, very high. This is not a deck meant for Collected Company and will never be. If you want to play a Collected Company, then you should just rebuild your deck and just like play something closer to Value Town. The green white Value Town is a Collected Company deck. This is not. This is an Nether Vile deck. I think they mean the blue retreat. That's even worse. I'm not interested in splashing any colors. In my Omnath EDH deck, it's cool, but I killed the whole board on turn 5. What are you talking about, Mr. Gloom? Devoted Devastation is like a pretty bad matchup, although also, isn't it? Yes, but I have not played it against once, so I don't know. I just have not experienced it. It's probably very bad. Yes, you're probably right. Take out amulets. Take out vials, put in amulets. How did I not think of that before? I'm glad you see Back to Fireworker. Didn't like our champion. Yeah, I tried it. I mean, I'm trying cards out, right? Like I'm not married to any cards in the deck. Like only thing that I know is that you want 4 vials and you want 4 reclaimers. That's it. Like anything else, I could take it or leave it. Probably the four dryads are also good. Ah, es Matías es Sargento, bueno, un gusto, Matías. Y no, mira, lo que te dije es te posteé acá. Imagino que entendés inglés más o menos. Pero esas son las preguntas que te tenés que hacer cuando querés sugerir una carta. The body druid, it's rare in leagues for some reason. Might be because of the million lava darts right around. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, exactly. Anything else? If you cast a Coco, you're about 30% to hit 1 or less creatures. Yeah, that's not a percentage that I'm okay with. I'm on a 2-1 split with Champ and Fireworker. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. Like, we could do that. Probably I would cut Arasta for an Arab champion. But like, is Champion really better than Arasta against Prowess? And it's better than Arasta against like Jund or Shadow, but not really by that much, right? Not really by that much, and Arasta is a lot better against the control decks than the other thing, so... Because of like sideboard mapping, I think that Arasta just makes more sense to be in my sideboard. Did you win your match against Inverter? Did you find it strong or a meme? I mean, the last time I played against Inverter was like 2 or 3 months ago, so... That deck has a really good matchup against Amulet, so I'm pretty sure I lost. But that doesn't... Yeah, I don't think that you should... I don't think that you should analyze a deck's viability by their Amulet matchup, particularly when Amulet is basically nowhere to be seen in the metagame, right? Anyway, folks, thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. We had 130 viewers almost right now, so thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.